Kind of an interesting water supply in this house. The main line coming in here is galvanized steel. That's an old method of supplying water to a house, and it had a lot of issues over the years. There would get corrosion on the inside of the steel, and it would constrict the pipes and reduce pressure. So it's always good to replace them. They have a tendency of leaking and corroding at the threads. Pretty poor plumbing job here. He went from a full 3/4 inch to a 1/2 inch flex copper reduction. Check out these old rusted valves. Really like the flexible copper lines. So anytime the whole house is getting supplied by 1/2 inch and off the water heater, that's going to reduce flow and pressure to the house. Again, water lines not supported here, just dangling up in the air. These are the washer spigots, there's washer supply here. And then we got polybutylene piping in the house. So this was a precursor to PEX. It was installed in the 80s and up to like 95. It's a plastic, but it ended up having a ton of issues. Had a class action lawsuits against Vanguard Plastics, and you can identify it, it's just gray. So that's how you can tell. And then PB, see the PB2110, that's polybutylene with the plastic nomenclature. It basically had a lot of issues with bursting and leaking at the fittings. The chlorine in the city water would degrade the water lines over time and make it brittle, so it could burst and then leak. The early ones had plastic fittings, which had bigger problems. These are copper fittings, which solved some of the issues at the connections, but they still have a real high failure rate. Like I said, there's class action lawsuits, and all that money was dried up, but people got paid out millions of dollars for water damage to their houses. So anytime I see this, I've talked to numerous plumbers, and they recommend replacing it. It's kind of a ticking time bomb of either bursting or leaking, and it can happen on well water too. So it's mostly the chlorine in the city water that degrades it, but UV, and just over time the plastic degrades and gets brittle. So if you see this, it's kind of a major issue and really should be replaced.